We didn't open higher. They changed the charts like so much. I'm trying to figure. They just like updated the charts, which I'm not going to complain about because they needed to be updated. But now I got to figure out everything because they moved it all around. Jesus. Okay, so technically we did open higher. That makes sense. So we went down deeply in the post market, and then rose, open higher in the pre market here, rose a little bit, and then fell, which is what I expected was to open higher and then to fall. Which it's kind of borderline accurate because we have to take into account the post market behavior. Pre-market, post-market can get really tricky, especially during retrograde. A lot of the time, opportunities will show up during retrograde, or during the pre-market or post-market when it's retrograde. Hey, trading altitudes. Hey, round earth. Well, I don't think the banking sector is going to collapse. I think it's really been overdone. But that doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't do what you're saying. I just don't think it's going to collapse. So really, most of that drop happened in the pre-market. We rose in the post-market. We rose in the pre-market and then dropped early in the morning as expected. And then we had a high kind of like mid-morning. Let's see where the high is here. I think they did a good job with these charts. It's just going to take me a minute to figure them out. Yeah, well, we're going lower, so this red ellipse needs to be adjusted because we already hit that price level. If you're new to the channel, guys, sometimes we do these ellipses, which is kind of like where you'll see it. We estimate you'll see like a low or a high within the ellipses. So we've already met this price level, and I think we probably end up around the 100-day moving average tomorrow. As we open lower, notably lower. Hey, Robert. Hmm. Third, fourth. Yeah, we should see a pretty deep decline here, guys. Probably back to like the 27s, maybe lower. Fourth, fifth, possibly. But then we go higher into like the 10th and 13th. Those are pretty notable highs. It's looking pretty ugly for Bitcoin between like the 14th and the 24th, really. Well, nothing's impossible trading. Nothing's impossible. Um, yeah, we open lower tomorrow, but with a notable move higher, especially towards the end of the day. Mercury goes direct in just a few days, like a week. We've got the eclipse tomorrow, and then we've got Mercury going direct. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So, like, we might see a low here on the 10th. We either are going to see a low here, like it's today or tomorrow, or we see a low on the 10th. It might be the same. But then there's a reversal, like when we start moving higher come the week of the 15th. So do I think it'll fall to 39.50? Mm, I think it's probably unlikely 39.5. I mean, we could, but like I think we're very near a low though. So I think it's unlikely we see 39.5. Might see 400 though. Netflix. Netflix is looking pretty bearish for the month of May. But after a little bit of probably have a little bit of a rally here in the second week of May. And I would like to see like a peak or crest here, and we're not really seeing that peak or crest. Um, Maybe tomorrow, it's possible. Tomorrow could be the highest high. It looks like overnight there's a sharp drop actually overnight here. Like on the cusp, there's a sharp drop on the cusp. It might be like a high early in the day, and we drop pretty hard from it. Peak at about 11. Sell off from there. Rally. Halting of a rally. I'll make that ellipse a little wider. Let's see. Do I think Netflix will hit its 1-year high in June, July? Whoa, it's all different. They really changed the charts up. Finally listened to me and upgraded. Yeah, probably. It's probably in July. It's June, July somewhere. There's like a brief peak at the end of the month. Let me see that. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely. It doesn't look like it's May, but June, July. There's a big move to a distant resistance level in June. At least at the beginning of June, it looks like. But this is pretty solid. We got a high and a low in January. We have, or I should say, a prominent trough and a prominent crest in January, a prominent crest in February, and a lowest low right on the cusp of February. So a little bit off, but you give it 2 weeks wiggle room, and it's solid. And then we have a prominent trough and a prominent crest for April. Not so much for it looks like, sorry, this is March. Prominent trough and crest for March, and then in April doesn't look like there's really so much a prominent trough or crest, but then maybe on the cusp of it's probably early June actually. Yeah, I'm seeing a highest high in July, and then there's a really sharp drop off of the highest high in July, which adds up when we look at the 1 year. We've got a highest high and a lowest low within close time proximity. They're both in the same month there, so we probably have a pretty sharp decline there. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so annoying. Alright. On a 1 minute chart, we're getting kind of close to overbought there. Let's see on a 5 minute. We've got plenty of room on a 5 minute. And you got to be careful around when you're trading during Mercury retrograde, because you'll be waiting for things like an end of day pop, and it'll end up happening after the close, like in the post market. That's very Mercury retrograde-y. But there's room to maneuver to the upside there. We got about 20 minutes. 10-minute chart. Room there as well. Yeah, we open lower, and there's a trade opportunity first thing in the morning, probably a cash out. So like, if we see this move at the end as we're waiting for this like success move here, which is a notable move higher, and then we turn resistance into support, I would use that opportunity to open up a short position with the intention to close it tomorrow at the open. Yeah, well, that's the night of discs. It's very sideways rotationally up and down, but really sideways, and then at the end is that fast sudden move higher, usually ending it. It's possible that this move right here ended the rotation, and that this turns into like some direction. We'll see.
Go sleep. You're a good boy, Hermes. Yeah, you're a good boy. Where are you going? You gonna sit in my lap?
Yeah, so I mean, any movement to the upside really, like, I'd say above this range here, I'd look to open up that short position. If there's no move to the upside there, then I might. Matter of fact, there might even be more down. There might even be more decline first thing in the morning there. Yeah, we open notably lower. Notably lower. So I would say this is a good opportunity to open up a short position. Even if there isn't a big move to the upside, I'd probably still open a short position here. You might, if you did it right now, you might be a little annoyed if there's like a move before the close. But I would say before the close, I'd want to make sure I'm in a short position. Oh, I don't like that candlestick. But the power card is more sideways behavior, sideways rotation along support. Yeah, it's looking like it might go south here, actually, guys. So, what's interesting is we've got this arrowhead here, arrowhead here. We've got the power card here. We've got the power card here. So it's like probably a continuation of a decline. This is like an attempt to establish support here. For anybody new, guys, there's a couple ways that you could support the channel. I want to just throw this out here so people know about it. We've got early access on our website, Tarot for Traders. Whoop, that's the wrong thing. You go to Eso-Meta Forecast here under our services. Early access, $29 a month. It gets you access to all of the public videos. Like, I mean, all of June is pretty much up on the website already. All of the S&P for June. And then also you can subscribe to, like, if you want to see the paid version of any of these readings, you can subscribe to any of these predictions, these monthly predictions. Or if you want to get access to all of them, there's the $250 a month subscription, which gives you access to all the paid versions. Those are really great ways to support the channel. But really, the most important thing is to follow the rule of karma, my friends. Make sure to follow the rule of karma, which you do here. So here on the resources tab, if you don't know what the rule of karma is, please check out the video on our channel. Explaining the rule of karma. We ask that you send 5% of the profits you make from this information forward to one of these charities, 5% of the profits back to the channel here at Cash App or PayPal, and we ask that you spend that 90% left over out of love. And that's the rule of karma. Yeah, but it looks like we're going south here, guys. There's like this establishment of support. We might have right at the closes pop to the upside. We've got about 14 minutes, so it's still very likely to happen. But I would say overall, I want to be in a bearish kind of expectation, bearish position.
What you doing, Hermes? What you got in your hair, goofball? What is that?
Do I day trade, Aaron? Are you asking if I day trade SPY? I don't trade it at all. Well, I mean, I have like a position in SPC, but I wouldn't consider that a trade. It's a buy and hold. I don't really trade. When I trade, my predictions tend to go sideways. It's not really a gift meant for me. It's meant for other people. That's why we ask for that 5% donations. It's kind of lame to like do all of this work and see everybody else make money off of it and then like have nothing to show for it. So, you know, it's nice when people send that 5% because it really helps out. It really helps out a lot. Yeah, so this might, right here, might be the move to the upside, guys. We got, what, 10 minutes? 11 minutes? I would use this move to the upside. See that volume? I would use this move to the upside to open up that short position if you haven't done so already to close in the morning. Oh, well, thank you, AV1111. I really appreciate that. That's very helpful. Much appreciation to you. Dope. Glad to hear it. I really appreciate it, AV. Speaking of which, guys, if you want to help out the channel, a really great way to help out the channel right now is to just share this live feed with somebody you think that it would help out. Goes a long way. We're near the upper end of like how many people we get on these things. We're growing, obviously, but it'd be cool to see like a. I want to see a 2 instead of a 1 in front of a digit. I want to see a 2 in front of a digit. I want to get into the 20s here. Appreciate it, Aaron. Like people who follow the rule of karma. I call them my angel investors because they're investing, but they're also somebody's angel. They're putting goodwill into the world. You know, and goodwill goes a long way. It goes a really long way. What we do now echoes through eternity. So when you do a good deed, you're doing a good deed in infinite like in a multiverse, not just in one verse, but in all verses. Right, so opening up a short position, end of day here, close following day. And then it looks like we probably have some decline here before this peak or crest we have around noontime. And it looks like we likely open lower on the 8th as well. Not always though with the strife card. Sometimes there's a little bit of a bullish move first before the decline. It's actually one of the principles of the Richest Man of Babylon. There's this book called the Richest Man of Babylon, which goes over like these ancient principles of wealth, and one of them is tithing 10% of what you make, because it basically ensures that the flow of abundance continues. There's no block to the abundance flow. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. And they cut off the flow. We're actually going to add another link to the resources tab for an app called Wise, which basically allows international payments, because I don't think international people can send payments through PayPal, Cash App, but Wise allows you to do that through like pretty much any currency. So we're going to add that on there. But yeah, this behavior that's going on here is very typical of the power card. And I kind of get the feeling we're not going to see that move, at least not before the pre-market. Any last questions? Anything anybody wants me to take a look at? A day trade for tomorrow? It looks like there's a midday scalp off of this peak or crest that we have around noontime. We should drop to and through a support level on a 1-day scale and meet a second support level. I would say exit out of the short. We'll enter the short when we meet like a resistance level around 12. And very shortly thereafter, there should be a move to the downside through a support to meet a second support. And I would exit out at that second support for a scalp. It's pretty tricky, though, because we do have a pretty big move in the early afternoon, so you want to be quick about that trade. There's a lot going on here around noontime. You might also be able to open up a short position first thing in the morning and close it. It's tricky. There's a lot going on here. It's another one of those days where we've got sideways. So, like, there's no, like, really solid day trade that I see here on the 5th. The closest would be, like, that scalp, but even that's not the most solid trade. It's not a great day for a day trade. Hey, John. Welcome. No, we don't usually get into price levels. Sometimes I can identify price levels, but Eso-Meta is more about pattern of chart behavior, highs and lows, in relation to each other rather than price levels. Price levels would be something that you'd want to get into, like with like a one-on-one. We'd get into what you could do here at private sessions. Because I can do price levels, but it's more of like a classical way of using the tarot, and it's not nearly as accurate as Eso-Meta. You're welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to roll. As always, make sure to follow that Rule of Karma. Thank you so much for watching. Rule of Karma, you can do so here at our resources tab on the website Tarot for Traders, where we ask you to send 5% of the profits forward to one of these charities. Keep the abundance flow going through the universe. 5% of the profits back to the channel here. Keep the channel going through the universe. And that leaves you with 90% of the profits left over. Make sure you spend that money out of love. The universe is going to send it back to you tenfold from all directions, my friends. Private sessions are on Zooms. We do like you'd book it on the website here in our services under private sessions. And then you basically, there's a calendar, you go in and you can book like whatever time seems appropriate to you. Like, you know, there's a choice of different slots. It's not a huge selection, but if there's something that doesn't work for you, we could figure it out. Just message me. And it's basically one-on-one over Zoom. All right, my friends, thanks again for watching. All right, great. Look forward to it, John. All right.